Level 4 is going to be really similar to level 3, except that we'll be solving actual equations. So we're going to do the same thing we did in level 3, where we plug one function into another, but then in level 4 it will equal some number, and that gives us an actual equation to solve. So we set it up by looking at this function composition. It says r of f of x. That's the same as r of f of x, written this way, equals -7. So I'm plugging f of x into r. So I take this expression, -2x plus 5, and I plug it into the x in r. So r is my outer function. I write the 4, and then instead of x, I plug in -2x plus 5, and then I bring the -3 down. And then my next step is to set this equal to -7. And now I have an equation that I can actually solve. In level 3 I was just simplifying an expression. Now I'm solving an equation. So to solve this equation, this is a linear equation, first I'm going to distribute, and we get -8x plus 20 minus 3 equals -7. I'm going to combine like terms on the left side, and I get -8x plus 17 equals -7. Then we would subtract 17 from both sides, and we get -8x equals -24. Divide both sides by -8x, and we get x equals 3. And that would be our final answer. In this next example, n of x is being plugged into m. So we take this whole expression and plug it into the x in m. And then we're going to set it equal to 0 at the end. So we get -2 times, and then I replace x with -x squared minus 3x. Then I put plus 4 from right here. And then I set it equal to 0 from this equation over here. And that's the equation I have to solve. So first I simplify. I'm going to distribute -2, and we get 2x squared plus 6x plus 4 equals 0. And this is a quadratic equation. To solve a quadratic equation that has an x squared and an x and a regular number, we would solve this by factoring. So first I'm going to check for a GCF, and it does have a GCF of 2, so I factor out a 2, and 2 times x squared gives me 2x squared, 2 times 3x gives me 6x, and 2 times 2 gives me 4. And so I just leave the 2 in front, and now I'm going to factor this into 2 binomials. So I put my x and my x to multiply to x squared, and then I need two numbers that multiply to 2 and add to 3, so we get 2 and 1. And they're both positive, so that it adds to positive 3x. And then the answers, or the solutions to this equation, are the numbers that make each part equal 0. So what makes this left side equal 0? X equals -1. And what makes this part equal to 0? X equals -2. So those are my two solutions to this equation.